I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, I have to tell you that truth is what it is. You cannot change it, you cannot transform it, you cannot conceptualize it. It is what it is, it was what it was, and it will be what it will be. Whatever I want to tell you today, I have to request you to keep your mind open like scientists. You need not believe into what I say. We have had enough of problems with blind faith. But keep your minds open. In case this proves, then you have to believe. Believe in it. If you are honest people, you have to believe in it. Because it is for the benevolence of your individual self, for the benevolence of your city, your country, and world at large. Most of the problems of this world come from human beings. Humbly we must admit. There's something wrong somewhere that we create problems. And these problems come to human beings when there is a problem with these centers here as explained to you. Now these centers do exist. These are energy centers within. And when they are... Thank you. Thank you. It's cold, I don't like. I like just ordinary. These centers, when they go into jeopardy, we have this problem of human beings behaving in funny manners. When this power which is within us, which is in 3.5 coils. That's why it is called as Kundalini. Kundal means a coil. It's a mathematical thing. It rises like a primule in a seed and rises upward against the gravity and pierces through your fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your child. Thank you very much. It's just simpler, water is better. Thank you. Thank you. Now the truth is that you are not this body. You are not this mind. You are not this ego. You are not these conditionings. What we say, this is my house, this is my car, this is my wife, this is my husband, my children. But who is this my which owns it? So that my which owns it is the I, the self, is the pure spirit within you. The second truth is that there is all-pervading power of divine love, which does all the living work. Now you see beautiful flowers all over. Since I have come to Australia, I've been seeing all kinds of flowers, beautiful flowers. Who does this miracle? They are different, of a different shape, different color. Who does that? Who runs our heart? We never ask this question to ourselves. We take all living work for granted. We never bother to find out who does that. The third question that should come to us, really, which cannot be answered by anyone, why are we on this earth? What is our purpose of coming to this earth, to be born as human beings, to be evolved as human beings? What is the purpose? Is it just to ensure ourselves and die? Is that? What is the purpose of life? What is our identity? And when we start asking these questions, we find that nobody has been able to answer this question. Science cannot answer this question. Science has its own limitations. So this all-pervading power, which does all the living work, we have never felt it. We have read it in scriptures that there's all-pervading power of God's love. There's the Ruh is there. They call it Param Chaitanya. Or also they say is the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. But where is that? Nobody has felt it. Nobody has known about it. Another problem is this, that our civilizations grew too big. In the West, even in Australia, everywhere. Like a big tree. But what about the roots? If you do not find the roots, the result is, as you have now, recession, this problem, that problem. So where are the roots? If the knowledge of science comes from West, this knowledge comes to you, say from India or from East, what's the harm? Because it's important that we should know our roots. And these are the roots. This is the knowledge of the roots that is within us. When there's problem, outwardly we should know there must be some problem inside ourselves. And we don't know anything about ourselves, nothing. What we know about outside, but we don't know what's wrong with us. Where do we go wrong? So it is very important to understand that if there is a way of going through the last breakthrough of our evolution, if there's a way that we can find out our identity, if there's a way we can know our inner self fully, why not do it? For which you don't have to pay. You can't pay, it's an evolutionary process, it's a living process. For example, how much do we pay for these flowers to Mother Earth? Who's done the job? It's built in a seed to germinate, and built in the mother land that it will germinate. We don't pay for that, it's already built in there. In the same way, if it is built in within you, you can't pay for it. One thing, if you realize that you can't pay for your evolutionary process, for anything that is divinity, for anything that is pure, half of the problems will be solved of this guru shopping that you have been doing all these days. Because if you are not going to pay for it, and these people are asking for money, that means something wrong with them. You cannot market it. Thus, we reach a point where we realize that something spontaneous living process has to take place. And that has become very, very easy in modern times. Because it is described already, prophesied. In the Bible it is the last judgment, and otherwise in the Quran it is Qiyamah, means the resurrection. Even in Indian scriptures they have described about these special times when people who will get so much disillusioned. In the illusion they will be born, and they will be disillusioned that they'll take to reality, and this thing will happen. It's already predicted. And this is the time, such a fortunate time when we are all born. And it has to work out. It is your own power. It's your own mother. It's your individual mother. And she knows everything about it. It's all tape recorded. And she is anxious to give you the second birth. She is anxious. And she does it very beautifully. I've read some books which says that Kundalini awakening is very dangerous and all that. I can't understand. It has never happened before like that. I've been working like this for the last, I think, I don't know how many years now. At least 25 years. And I've never seen anybody being harmed. On the contrary, everybody is helped. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Now there are 3 doctors who have got MD in Delhi University for surgery in various subjects. Now there's a 4th doctor who is trying on blood cancer and all that. For medical science, if you ask them who does all these things, they'll say autonomous nervous system. But who is this auto? Who is this auto that does this work? They can't answer. They're honest, they can't answer. So this autonomous nervous system, which is parasympathetic and sympathetic, the parasympathetic nervous system we take over. And we can control our parasympathetic through this. Of course, I don't know how far the doctors here are sensitive to a subject like that. But in Russia I was surprised. There are 200 doctors who are practicing Sahaja Yoga in Russia. Russian people are not so materialistic because they have never known materialism much. About 30% of them are funny type. They'll ask for Marlboro cigarettes. But 70% are so sensitive to Sahaja Yoga. I was amazed the way they took to me and threw away all absurd gurus from them. Not one person could prosper. And no religion is allowed to be practiced there, where they have now started taking to Sahaja Yoga. It's very amazing how these people who don't know even English, he don't know about God, they were not supposed to know about any religion. They are so clean, like a clean slate. And they have taken to Sahaj in such a big manner, I am surprised, in thousands and thousands of people, so sensitive, so open-minded, and scientifically so equipped. There were 300 scientists, I think maybe more, who invited me. Started telling them about, I thought better start from science. So they said, Mother, don't tell us science, we know everything about science. No, we don't want to. You tell us the science of God. Such eager, intelligent, educated people. Now this democracy of ours, so-called, today also in the newspaper I read the same thing, so-called democracy. Because it looks sometimes like a democracy. You see, like you go to America, you can't even wear your wedding ring. They might take away your wedding ring also or kill you for that. That's supposed to be democracy. You have to be extremely careful. I was surprised in Perth. We were going in the night for about 35 kilometers. No gangsterism on the way. I was surprised how this country is still saved. But it happens that this kind of democracy, without being in connection with that all-pervading power, can take you to anything. Same with religions. You take any religion, whether you are Hindu, Christian, Muslim, anything, one can commit any sin. What's the use of denouncing others? Everybody just the same, I think, no difference. All are only convinced that they are something excellent. But they are not, in no way. And so many things like this, when we start seeing, we get disillusioned and we start thinking, where is the truth? Where is the reality? What are we doing? At this time, I call them the seekers of truth. These are special category of people as described by so many poets. And when it works out, they are the ones who jump into themselves, jump into this beautiful era of what we call the New Age. It's a happening. It's not just branding yourself New Age. Somebody calls themselves by some other name. It's not that. It's another Christian, Hindu, Muslim branding. But something that has to happen. And that happening is awakening of the Kundalini. William Blake has said that men of God will be born in those days, men of God. And they will become divine and they will have powers to make others divine. Exactly that is Sahaja. Moreover, it's such an internal happening that all outside things are not needed. For example, some people go to Himalayas, stand on their heads, or they starve themselves, fast, do all kinds of things. And they find nothing. They can't understand how it happens. They go on telling me, Mother, we did this, we did that, and we never found anything within ourselves. So first you have to be connected to that all-pervading power. This is the power that's extremely dynamic, no doubt. But it's the power of compassion. So you also become very dynamic. I know poor people becoming very rich suddenly. I've seen people who are sick becoming all right. We have a very nice case in Perth where a boy who was already married, had children, 2 children. He was in an accident and whole his brain as if came out. It's a terrible condition. And doctors gave it up, that he will die. Not that he was saved, but he is absolutely normal now. I was in tears to see him so beautifully cured. So this all-pervading power, which is the ocean of bliss, ocean of knowledge, ocean of compassion, is the ocean of forgiveness. This power starts flowing through you. You become a vehicle of that power. And once you learn how to make others the same way, how to raise their Kundalini, you can create thousands of people who are self-realized. Surprisingly, in Australia, many children are born who are realized souls. Very surprising. Maybe because in other European countries, children are killed by the parents. So maybe they are taking to you people who are kind to children. Your government is also very kind to them. And these children are not understood by parents sometimes because they are very different. And they are very moral. So all the problems that we have created out of our ideas of sort of modernism or any kind of thing, and that we see that our children are going to dogs, is all stopped through this awakening. It's like this, that if I tell some children don't take to drugs, they'll never listen to me. If, supposing I'm carrying a snake in my hand and there's darkness all over, I can't see anything, and somebody says, you have a snake in your hand, I'll never give up. If I am very obstinate, I'll never give up. I'll say, no, it's just a rope. But when there is little light, I will myself give it up. In the same way it happens. It works this way, that you yourself become powerful to throw away all that is destructive, all that is to be given up. I don't have to say don't do this. The 10 commandments we don't talk about in Sahaja Yoga. But only in you the religion is born. The innate religion which keeps you religious, righteous, compassionate and dynamic. You don't have to change your dress, you don't have to change your lifestyle, you don't have to give up your wives and children. But you get it just where you are. It's so simple, made so simple. I would say, if you are hungry, you can have it. Like, if I have done the cooking, and if you are hungry, you will say otherwise, Mother, just let's have the food. But if you are not, then you will go on discussing, arguing, this, that. These are all mental feats. I mean, if you want to ask me a question, you can ask me any number. And I am quite an expert now, 25 years I have been facing all of you. And I can answer you. But it's a mental feat. It doesn't give you realization. You are here for your realization, by which you are helped so much that physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually you become ordered. Firstly, you become peaceful. Absolutely peaceful. The peace within you achieve. How? You live with your thoughts. The thoughts rise, fall. And in between these thoughts there's a little space. Mostly you are thinking about the future or the past. You cannot be in the present. In the present there is no thought. You are with reality. So when the Kundalini rises, these thoughts elongate and the space in between of the present is established. When that space is established, you become peaceful. Absolutely peaceful within yourself. I have met many people, elite people, I should say, very elite, who have got peace prizes. But so hot-tempered people, I tell you, that you have to touch them with a barge pole. I mean, you cannot go near them. It's horribly hot-tempered people, and they have got peace awards, I don't know how. No peace within. At the slightest thing, they just shoot off. No patience, nothing. And then I realize that it's so outside, the whole thing is. They don't understand if you don't have peace within. How can I have a peace award? But you can. That is our life. Now this peace is established within you and you become, it's a new dimension of existence where you become thoughtlessly aware. You are absolutely aware but no thoughts, just in peace. But you are aware. You are not fainted down or you are not in some sort of a trance. You are absolutely aware and very much more aware because you are in reality. Then the second dimension you achieve is that you start feeling on your fingertips this cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. Sometimes you feel it hot also. On these fingertips are your sympathetic centers. And these sympathetic centers are from left and right. They join together to make the parasympathetic. So we have the left side and the right side within us, and this left and right side indicates on our right and left side. On the left side we get our emotional, and the right side our mental, and English language mental means something different, but I mean whatever we do with our brain. And also you receive your physical problems on the right hand side. These problems are indicative on your fingertips. Said by Hazrat Muhammad that at the time of Qiyamah your hands will speak and will give witness against you, means they'll tell you what's wrong with you. But not only that, they also tell you what's wrong with others. Now somehow if you know how to correct these centers, you are all right. And correct the centers of others, you can also make them all right. It's so simple, it's all within you, all the mechanism is within you. It's all there. Only thing, you have to understand the importance of it. Without that, you can never be happy. This power which is there is the power of pure desire. All other desires are not pure. Today we want to have, say, some flowers, tomorrow we want to have a house, day after tomorrow we want to have helicopter, I don't know, we go on and on. So every desire, whichever is fulfilled, is never satisfied. Once we get it, it's finished, then again. Of course, it's a law of economics also, that in general wants are not satiable. It's a fact. But this desire, whether you know it or not, is within you, whether you are aware of it or not, is the desire to be one with this all-pervading power. And all the powers that you have within you start manifesting. You have no idea at all what powers you have. I always say about a television taken to a very remote village in India where they have never seen electricity. And if you tell them that in this box you can see some films, they'll say, what? This is just a box. What are telling us stories? We also feel that we are just a box, nothing more than a box. But do you know what powers you have within yourself? What you can do for this world? What can you do for yourself, to your family, to your children? How you can really be a great force of reforms and transformation without troubling anybody? Because after this you know the absolute truth. You know them on your fingertips. If a man from India comes from the jail, he directly will come either to Australia or he will go to America. Wear a dress of what you call this Sadhu Baba's dress in saffron color and go and sit in any place and become a big guru, earn a lot of money. How will you know whether this fellow has been to jail or is he a real person or not? So, on your fingertips you can find out the absolute truth. A new dimension in you, that on your fingertips you know not only your centers but 10 centers of others. Everybody feels the same way, knows the same way. Then where is the quarrel? Where is the argument? Where is the war? Now we have in India sometimes people coming from 60 nations, because Sahaja Yoga is now practiced in 60 nations. I've never seen them quarreling, fighting. Of course they pull each other's legs and have a little humor about it. But never ever seen fighting. Never. No question of argument. Because you do not know the absolute truth. So somebody says that Christianity is good, somebody says this Islam is good, somebody says that is good, or democracy is good, or communism is good. How? How do you know that? Because you have got yarn in your heads and that's how you have formed your own ideas and you are all fighting with each other. It's all mental, which is all limited. But with this, you know the absolute and is tangible. You can diagnose people. One fellow went to Houston and he said, Mother, I was half dead with diagnosis only. But I said, you don't have to do anything in Sahaja Yoga like that. You can diagnose about yourself, you can diagnose about others. There's no need to go through all that. This is what it is, that you have to have your own powers manifesting and you must have the full knowledge about it. It should not be halfway. Your attention becomes extremely innocent and powerful. The attention, when it is diverted everywhere, you see, you get confused and people get schizophrenia, this, that, all that. But here the attention is very innocent. And such a person, even if he radiates or even if he looks at or glances at somebody, he can give peace, he can give redemption, he can do so many things he can do because his attention has become enlightened. Sitting down here, you can know about anybody you want to know. You can know about the people who are dead or the people who are very far away. You can find out sitting down here. This is what we can call as collective consciousness. A new dimension of consciousness comes to you, about which Jung has written, collective consciousness. So you develop this collective consciousness within yourself. For that you don't need any education, you don't need anything. Even villagers can do it. Even small little children can do it. Because they know this power. As all of us have the power to see something, as you all can see me sitting down here, in the same way you can know about others, know about yourself without doing any acrobats. So simple as that. All these powers are yours. But above all, you jump in the sea of joy. The whole problem is taken over by this all-pervading power of God. We say we leave it to God, all right, leave it to God. But you are not connected. When we pray also, we are not connected. A telephone which is not connected, you go on moving it, it will get spoiled, but you are not connected. After realization, even to just a problem comes to you and it gets solved. Because you get out of your problem, you can see it clearly, and the divine helps. There have been so many blissful miracles of Sahajogis that now we have given up. We wanted to print them, but in 1 month they became so much high and we didn't know what to do. So all over, we have to not believe in God, but you have to feel the bliss of God, how He looks after you. It's not just a talk or a sermon, but it's a happening. And the happening has to take place, otherwise our attention which is outside will not be taken inside. It's a question of understanding our own value, respecting ourselves. And it works. As you all are here, I know you are all seekers, otherwise you would not be here. And it is your right to get this realization. Sahaj means born, Saha is with you, Ja is born. With you is born. This right to get to this yoga means the union with the divine. And is your right. And you should assert. And all those who will ask for it have to have it. It is their right. The whole thing has built in our revolutionary process. And now the last bit has to happen and it will work out. I have to tell you one thing more, that it is not an individual happening. It's a collective happening. It works better when there are many people. Also, when you have to know about it, learn about it, take advantage of it, you have to come to the collective. It's not like other organizations where they have an introductory lecture and after that they start marketing it. You cannot market it. For definite, you cannot market it. It is divine love. And love you can never market. In the same way, this is divine love. How can you market it? So, if you have respect for yourself, if you really love yourself, and you care for yourself, you are not self-centered. Because after all, you are a human being. Epitome of evolution. So, only thing, you have to give some time and come to the collective and progress in Sahaja. It's not difficult at all. Nothing is to be done, as I told you. It's not to stand on your head or anything. Just wherever you are, you will get it. It's so simple because the time has come and you are not obliged to me by for anything. It's just happening all over and happens to everyone. So I would request you to pay attention to it. And once you get your realization, you should really come to the collective, because it would be like what Christ has described, the sprouted seeds which were thrown somewhere and were lost. So you have to grow. And that growth is important. Once it happens, if you have any concern for your country, for yourself, and for the world, you should try to keep to it and understand it. It's as simple as that. So the last thing, as I told you, jump in the ocean of joy. That is, when your ego is pampered, you feel happy. And when the ego is punctured, you feel unhappy. It is joy, it has no duality. It's just a witness state in which you witness everything like a drama. And you lose your age very much. You feel very dynamic, at the same time very compassionate. As you know, I am 71 years of age and I am traveling practically every third day. And it's all right. People said, Mother, don't you feel you are traveling too much? I said, I'm not traveling, I'm just sitting everywhere. Where am I traveling? In the same way, it happens to you. And the aging and all that never comes into your mind. You just live. Live in the present and you just enjoy life. Enjoy the company of all other realized souls. All over the world you have relations. Wherever you go, they'll be all there to help you, to look after you. Something happens to one person all over the world, they will try to help. The doctors will run to that place and people will pray and they will see to it the person is saved. It's such a big family, such a beautiful family, into which I would request you to join. May God bless you. Now, I cannot force self-realization. Cannot be done. Because I respect your freedom. You are given freedom at a human level because you have to ascend with your own desire. I cannot force on you anything. As you have to accept it that you want to have it. I would request people who don't want to have it, they should leave the hall and leave others. But those who want to have it are very welcome and they can have it, even the knowledge they can have it without any difficulties. So all those who want to go away should leave the hall. Please, I'll be very thankful because it cannot work on people who do not want it. On the contrary, it doesn't help others also to have such people among you who don't want to have it. It will take hardly 10 minutes, and I would request you not to disturb others when we are in the process of it. Actually, it happens spontaneously without anything, but as there are little problems on the centers, you have to nourish your centers yourself, as I'll tell you. It's very simple, and we'll show you how we do it. Firstly, I would request you to take out your shoes because you don't know the Mother Earth, how much it helps us. इनको हटा लो चप्पल तो. Big problem taking out shoes. If you ask them to take out shoes, it's very common in England especially. It's too much of a sacrifice. All right. Now, why? Because under shoes, you see, our feet are under pressure, And we are away from the Mother Earth very much. We don't know how much she helps us. She sucks up all our problems. So if you can take out your shoes, there's nothing wrong in it. Now, those who are all sitting on the chair should keep both their feet apart from each other, because these are two powers here, left and right, as I told you, will help you a lot. And sit comfortably. You have to be comfortable. All right. Now first I'll show you how you will have to nourish your own centers. Very simple. And then you have to close your eyes and we'll do the realization part of it. It's very simple, it's very, very simple. But there are 3 conditions, which are also very simple if you understand it. The first one is that you should have faith in yourself. You should not condemn yourself. You should not feel guilt. It's a fashion to feel guilty. Also, very sorry, English language is like that, morning till evening. You see, on the telephone we used to say, in our times, I beg your pardon. Now they say sorry, morning till evening. They are saying sorry for what? If you have done any mistakes, it's all right. After all, you are human beings, you are not God. And as I told you, this is the ocean of forgiveness. So whatever mistakes you might have committed, it's all forgiven at this moment. So please don't feel guilty. They feel guilty for anything with which they may be related or not related. So please don't feel guilty about something that is so frivolous. And also remember that this is the ocean of forgiveness. Now, if you feel guilty, then this center on the left side catches, which is very serious. You might get spondylitis, which may not be cured. In Sahaja you can cure it. You might get angina. In Sahaja you can cure angina also. You can get also lethargic organs. All kinds of problems can come from feeling guilty. So why feel guilty for nothing at all? You don't judge yourself. Your Kundalini will judge you. She knows all about you. So forget it. And don't try mentally to judge yourself. Please, at this moment, don't judge yourself at all. All right. The second condition is even simpler if you understand that. First one is to forgive yourself. The second one is to forgive others. Absolutely. Now logically I'll convince you. Whether you forgive or don't forgive, you don't do anything. What do? Nothing. But you play into wrong hands all the time. The one who has harmed you or troubled you, he is happy, she is happy, while you are torturing yourself, not forgiving. You are playing with that hand. You see, now see the logic. So why? So just forgive all of them even without thinking about it. Just say, I forgive everyone. Many people say it's very difficult. I said, it's a myth. It's a myth that you are not forgiving and torturing yourself. But another problem is the center here, optic chiasma, is like this. Absolutely like this. Constricted. And if you don't forgive, it won't open, the Kundalini won't pass. It has to open like this. For that, you have to forgive. Otherwise, all your life you tortured yourself, and now you are going to miss out your self-realization. You have to be fair to yourself, I think. Now please forgive everyone. Just now you'll feel lighter. Take it from me. Once somebody insulted Buddha very much. And somebody then, he went away to another village. And people told him, you have insulted Buddha. So he felt very ashamed of himself. He went to the second village and he said, sir, I have come to ask for forgiveness. He said, for what? He said, the way I insulted you yesterday. You insulted me yesterday, isn't it? That's finished yesterday. Today you didn't insult me. So to forgive is divine, and that's what happens. So, first condition I have told you, the second condition I have told you. But in this is the third condition, again I say, is that you have to be absolutely confident about yourself and have faith in yourself. Shouldn't have any kind of inferiority complex that how can I get it, I'm such a bad man. You see, from childhood, whether it's a church, temple or a mosque, they go on telling you are a sinner, 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 that goes into your head. Nobody is a sinner today here. Please take it from me. I verily say to you, you are seekers of truth and it's your right to get this self-realization, which you will get it. Only thing further you must move, you should not leave it halfway done. Get the experience. You feel very much better with it, I'm sure. So now, we put our left hand towards me like this. Left side is the power of desire. So it represents that you want to have your realization. This is the desire you have. Just like this, comfortably. Now with the right hand, we try to help our different centers, which are very simple. In the heart resides the spirit. So we put our hand first to our heart. Spirit is the reflection of God Almighty. And Kundalini is the reflection of the primordial mother. The power of God, His desire. Now, then we remove our right hand and put it in the upper portion of our abdomen on the left hand side. We are working only on left hand side with our right hand. Now, this is the center which is for your mastery. If you become the spirit, you become your own master, because you have the light and you know what to do, what not to do. Then please take down this right hand in the low portion of your abdomen, on the left hand side again. Surprisingly, this is the center of pure knowledge about the divine laws. So low as that is placed. Then you again raise your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen, which is the center of mastery. Then on the heart, where resides the spirit. Then you raise your hand in the corner of your neck and shoulder and turn your head to your right, which is suggestive that you should get rid of your guilt, so-called. Now, then you take your right hand, you can take out your spectacles, it will help you. Put your right hand on your forehead across, like this, and put down your head as far as possible. This is the center where you have to forgive everyone in general without thinking about them. Now, take your right hand on the back side of your head and push back your head at this center. Without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes, just for your satisfaction, you have to ask forgiveness from the divine power. Now, please stretch your hand, right hand, fully for the last center, which is very important. The stretched palm is put on the fontanelle bone area, the center of the stretcher, and the fingers are pushed back as far as possible to have a pressure. Now, please put down your head. It is important to put down your head and move your scalp 7 times slowly clockwise. The scalp is to be moved, not the hand so much. So push back your fingers, you can do it better. Put down your head, please. That's all is to be done. It's not much. Now please close your eyes. Until I tell you, don't have to open your eyes. If you take out your spectacles, would be better. It will take hardly any time. Now, put the left hand towards me and both feet apart from each other, and put the right hand on the heart. Keep a pleasant attitude towards yourself, because now you are going to enter into the kingdom of God. Here you have to ask me a very fundamental question about yourself. You can call me Mother or Shri Mataji, whatever you like. This question should be asked 3 times in your heart. Mother, am I the spirit? Mother, am I the spirit? Ask this question. It works like computer, I tell you. Now, if you are the spirit, you become your own master. So take down your right hand on the left hand side of your abdomen in the upper region, press it hard, and here ask question again 3 times. Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I my own master? I've already told you that I respect your freedom, and I cannot cross over it. I cannot force also divine knowledge or pure knowledge on you. You have to ask for it. So please put your right hand in the low portion of your abdomen, press it hard, and here there are 6 petals to this center, so please ask 6 times. Mother, please give me pure knowledge. As soon as you ask for pure knowledge, the Kundalini starts rising. So now we have to only enrich our higher centers with our self-confidence. So please raise your right hand now, the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side, and with full confidence say in your heart 10 times, Mother, I am my own master. At the very outset I told you that you are not this body, mind, these emotions, these conditionings and ego, but you are the pure spirit. So now please raise your right hand on your heart and say with full confidence, Mother, I am the pure spirit. Say it 12 times. Mother, I am the pure. To say with full confidence again, 16 times. Mother, I am not guilty at all. Please say that 16 times. It's important. Once you say that, the problem of guilt will go away. And Kundalini can rise. Otherwise, it may stop at the center. If you have committed mistakes, then you must face them for the time being. And then forget them. What's the use of carrying them on yourself like this? Torturing yourself. I have already told you that you have to forgive everyone in general without thinking about them. So now please put your right hand on top of your forehead across, and please bend your head as far as possible. Please bend your head, and here you have to say again, Not how many times, but from your heart. Mother, I forgive everyone in general. Say it from your heart, not how many times, not important. This is very important because this center has to open now. Now, take your right hand on the back side of your head. Push back your head completely. And here you have to say, for your satisfaction, without counting your mistakes, without calling yourself guilty. Just ask the divine power, O divine power, if I have done any mistakes, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. You have to ask without feeling guilty. From your heart, not how many times. Just from your heart, you just ask. Now, please stretch your palm fully. Put the center of your palm on top of your fontanelle bone area. And now, I have to tell you that I cannot force self-realization on you, self-knowledge on you. You have to ask for it. So now please bend your head. Push back your fingers nicely, put a pressure and start moving your scalp clockwise 7 times, saying, Mother, please give me self-realization. Asking for it. I cannot force it on you. 7 times you have to say, Mother, please give me self-realization. Slowly. Move slowly clockwise. Please move slowly. Bend your heads little more. Now please take down your hands. Please put both the hands towards me like this, little higher. Now put left hand towards me. Put down your head, please, and see with your right hand if there's a cool or a hot breeze-like sensation is coming out of your fontanelle bone area. Please bend your head. See carefully. Not on top of your house, but above. Not on top of your head, but above. Hold it. Some people get it closer, some people get it away from. If you have not forgiven, it will be hot, sometimes very hot, coming out. The heat is coming out. But please forgive, and it will cool down, I am sure. Then, now please put your right hand towards me and bend your head again and see with the left hand. Now again forgive everyone. By that you can make the cool breeze come out of your fontanelle bone area. Now remember that it is your head from where it is coming, and don't start doubting about the air conditioning or anything. Just see yourself. Don't doubt, please. Some people get it far, some people get it closer. So try to move the hand a little up and down and on sideways, and you will see there's a cool breeze coming out. If it is hot also doesn't matter. Now, Once more. Put the left hand towards me, put down your head. And see with the right hand if there's a cool breeze or a hot breeze-like sensation is coming out of the fontanelle bone area. Now, please put both your hands towards the sky and bend yourself backwards, put your head back and ask any one of these questions 3 times. Mother, is this the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost? Or, Mother, is this the all-pervading power of divine love? Or, Mother, is this the Ru Param Chaitanya? Ask any one of these questions 3 times in your heart. Now please bring down your hands, please. You can put your hands towards me like this and watch me without thinking. This is the first state, as I call you, thoughtless awareness. In Sanskrit is called as Nirvichar Samadhi. All those who have felt cool or hot breeze on their fingertips or on their palms or out of their fontanelle bone area, please raise both your hands. You can put on your spectacles. This Melbourne, the whole Melbourne, my God. May God bless you all. May God bless you. May God bless you. I bow to you all. You got your realization, got your experience, but I hope you respect it. Respect your self-realization. Please come to the collective. Some didn't get it, I know, but all of you can get it. You come to the center, you all can get it, and they'll tell you everything about it, everything, how you can manage, how you can go with it, and how you can help yourself and others. I'm so very happy to see in Melbourne so many people. May God bless you. I always come after 1 year and I hope to see you grown up like big trees of peace and joy. May God bless you all.